All right, we are going to get started. Welcome to our Empowering Women Zoom. We try to have this every Thursday, and the reason behind this is to really share and give some vision to, people that may be taking a look at what it is some of us that are on here do. I know 7 years ago, I took a path that was unknown and unfamiliar, but I am so thankful that I said yes 7 years ago to the opportunity of joining and partnering with the Juice Plus company. And since then, I have grown in leaps and bounds. I have been a part of an amazing community of people and surrounded by just amazing medical professionals, people that are just well versed in how nutrition plays a huge role in our health. And it has helped me not only physically through the products that they offer, me and my family, but also financially. And I must say that mentally it has helped also. So, with all that being said, I'll quickly share my story. Close to 7 years ago, me and my family, well, I was a stay-at-home mom. But at the time, I was looking for a way to make some additional income. And I had 14-month-old son who was constantly sick, was a super picky eater, had reflux, acid reflux, projectile vomited as a child. And I was looking for solutions for him alongside just having some adult kind of interactions other than being home with two little ones. I wanted a way to do something productive, which I felt would be productive for my family and to make an additional income. At the time, my family was actually in financial distress. We were part of that economic crash where we had bought a house at a very high price, and a few months later, the whole market crashed, and what we were paying on our mortgage was just astronomical versus what our house was then worth. And then I was also out of a job, and we were just on a serious budget. Things totally changed for us, and I was looking for a way to not go back into the corporate world where I would be out of the house for 40 plus hours a week, but to be home with my children and be able to bring in some income. Whether it be $500 a month, I felt at the time like $500 a month could make a huge difference. And so thank goodness someone introduced me to this business opportunity. But first they introduced me to the products, and I thought they were amazing. I was like, fruits and vegetables and gummies for my kids. Yeah, sign me up. But then the business opportunity was presented too, and I started to take a look at that, and I was just like, this is pretty amazing. And who doesn't need fruits and vegetables? I don't know anyone that doesn't need them. And so I partnered alongside, and now I am so thankful that I did, because now 7 years later, I've been able to be home this entire time with my kids. Now they're in elementary school, and just be able to bring in a substantial income alongside having a flexible lifestyle. Is kind of all those things I wished I had back then, but didn't think were possible. So I'm just really thankful for this company, this community of people, the things that I've learned, the things I've changed over these years. And so this call is just to show you that I feel like I have been empowered by this information, by this community, and so many others have been too. And so this is really to showcase other people that have been empowered in this way, so that you can see, if you are taking a look at this, have a vision for yourself on how this can maybe empower you too. And so with that being said, I would love to introduce our first speaker. Where is she? She is a mama, a wife, and her story is just phenomenal. I am so excited to introduce Rihanna, who always has such great information to share with us. You unmuted yourself. Please share your story, Rihanna. Thank you for Zoom tonight.
Well, I wasn't sure who this wonderful person was, because I didn't know if I was speaking first or second. So it's like, oh, she's a mommy. Okay. Well, thank you for that amazing introduction. I'll tell you, I love being on these calls. One reason is I love seeing all these women of color lining up on here, and just women who are wanting more and they're open-minded enough to at least take a listen and see if this is something that might be an option for them or not. And I'll tell you, even in today's world in 2018, as women, we still need to feel empowered. There's still no lack of reasons why we as women of color, whatever you want to call it, still need to feel empowered. And so I will tell you just a little bit about my story. About 6 years ago, I found myself in a little bit of a health crisis myself. And as a mama of a child with severe special needs, everything has to be done for her. She needs 24-hour care. I had this horrific thought of what would happen to her if something happened to me because I'm not taking care of myself and my body's breaking down. And the thought of having to hire somebody to come and take care of her while my husband is at work was horrifying. It disgusted me to no end. And I thought at that point, I need to get my behind moving. I need to do something and stop taking life for granted. And so I began to move my body around a lot more, got into some physical activity. I started running, and I started paying a lot more attention to what I ate. But shortly after that, I met this gal who said, hey, I got a way that you can, get a variety of fruits and veggies in your body on a daily basis, but not just for you, also for your family. And when she said that, my ears perked up big time, because I knew as a mama, there's no way I'm providing 30 fruits, veggies, and berries for my kids on a daily basis. It's not happening. And so immediately I knew I had to have it. And then she told me they could have it for free. And I said, okay, sign me up. And immediately I did that. Good job, Mom. Like that pat on the back, like I knew I had made a really good decision for my family at that point. So fast forward to about 4 months, we're realizing the kids' allergies are gone. My husband, who had been fighting off the shingles virus for the last 3 years in his 30s, mind you, not 60s, but in his 30s, which tells you how weak his immune system is, had been able to fight off the shingles virus for the last, I'm speaking now, for the last 3 years, he's been able to fight it off. And my daughter, who had, like I said, severe needs, her heart medicine, she's been able to come off of her heart medicine. She's been able to come off of her seizure meds. She's a lot more awake and alert. She has just been doing so great. And then me, as a really, really tired mama who hit a wall every day at about 2:30, noticed that I wasn't grabbing, those energy drinks every day anymore. And my energy started going through the roof. And now my husband is kind of bitter because I sleep so well at night. If he hears the daughter at night, he's the one that has to get up because I don't hear her anymore. I literally don't hear her. And we have a monitor in our room and everything, and I don't hear her. So anyway, I'm sleeping like a baby, and it feels good because I pop up in the morning at 5 a.m. to get myself ready, work out and stuff like that, and get ready for the day. So, but I became very intrigued about this company when I started finding out that they were helping people grow their own food. And when I found that out, I started asking questions. Okay, what is the background? What's the story about this company? They're helping people grow their own food. It just struck me as unique. And so I started looking more into it, and I learned about their mission to inspire people to live healthy around the world. I was told that there were no minimums, no monthly quotas, and I was willing to take a deeper look at that point. And they told me I was going to get money back on my Tower Garden, which I had to have at that point. So I'm like, okay, sign me up, because I felt like I had nothing to lose at all. Also, as a mom of a special needs child, there's no corporate America in the works for someone like me who's at doctor's appointments week after week after week after week, like unending. Okay. Doctor's appointments, follow-up appointments, surgeries. Sometimes we're in the hospital. I mean, so I knew that I was going to have something where I have the time flexibility, and that I had the ability to grow an income to the point to where maybe my husband could actually come home, because we have so much that we need to be able to do here at home together. Maybe this would be a plan for getting us to, a plan B, like being able to bring him home from his 40 to 50 hour labor intensive, work outside the home. So first I found that I was able to just help with the grocery bills. Then the next thing I knew, I'm paying our mortgage. Next thing I know, I'm paying, a third of our income or expenses for the month. And now we know we have a plan. We have a game plan so that we can realize our dreams and live out that family, dynamic of togetherness that we so long for. And I'll tell you, I have met the best people being a part of this organization, this business. I have met some.
Uh-oh, is she frozen for you guys too?
Yeah, that happens when there's a spike in the internet connection, when there's a big spike.
Oh, Rihanna, you're frozen, but I can just imagine what this community has done for her alongside with, just constantly being that caretaker. I'm sure this community has been like such a support for her. And I'm so sad that she didn't get to finish, but I'm sure she'll be back in a second. But Rihanna?
There. I think she's going to come out and come back in.
Yes. Okay, so in the meantime, while we wait for her to get back on here, oh, there she is. There you are. I unmuted you.
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. How long was I talking? Because I got done and everybody was frozen like.
Oh. You were just sharing this community, how, this community has been a godsend.
Yes, I mean, and I'll tell you, we're the happiest bunch because we're empowering people. We're helping people take their health back. We're helping people take their wealth back. And I was just saying how there's not a whole lot, more that makes you feel empowered when you're helping people realize their value, their worth, their purpose, what God has called them to do. And I'm having the time of my life. And I'm so incredibly blessed to be on this call tonight with you guys. So thank you again, Michelle, for inviting me to speak tonight.
You're welcome. And I was just sharing how for you, being a caretaker of a child with special needs, I know this community must be like a godsend to just have that outlet, to have, the different events that we do and the fun that you get to have. And
girl, let me tell you, when we go on our trips, I cut loose. Like I lose every manner of responsibility because mama is off the clock. I don't have to be responsible. And the rest of my team is like, Rihanna, do you have your sweater? Do you have your water bottle? Because I just lose it. I'm like, I don't have to keep up with anybody or anybody's stuff. So I end up just losing all my stuff at conference because I'm just like, what? I don't need to worry about anybody, right? I'm here to
have your time.
Yes, it's my time.
You deserve it. Because you do a lot. So I love that you mentioned conference, because conference is something that we do twice a year, and it's where we meet up as a community, thousands of us, all on the same mission, all just ready to learn and encourage each other and cheer each other on, because there's just so much celebration that happens during those conferences. So if this is something you're taking a look at, you would definitely love to join in with us as a huge community during those conferences. Our next one is in Phoenix, Arizona. And so can't wait. I know. So if you're curious what Juice Plus is 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries that have been juiced, dried, and then encapsulated into capsules, into chewables. And it's a way to just get that concentrated nutrition in your diet every day. We also have plant-based shakes. Here I'm featuring the chocolate because we're out of vanilla. Very rich. No, I'm not out of vanilla. I forgot I have vanilla in my closet. So it comes in chocolate and vanilla, and it is just another way to get even more plant sources into your diet every day. And guess what? That thing tastes really good. Like, to me, I feel like it's a guilty pleasure, but really it's guiltless. It tastes really good. It's like a dessert. And my kids love it. And then we also have a plant-based omega, which is amazing. Really good for mental health. So many other things. People are just noting so many different changes after they've been taking it. And that's been something they recently introduced, because our company's all about incorporating more plants into your diet every day. And like Rihanna mentioned, we have something called the Tower Garden, which is an hydroponic and aeroponic growing system that you can have right on your patio. Doesn't take up more than 3 feet of space, and it's how you can grow 20 to 28 types of different fruits and vegetables. So our company is all about inspiring healthy living through getting more plants in your diet, and we have every kind of way that you can do that. And so I want to just share some statistics with you and some facts that affect us as women. So one of them that I like to share is that 80% of women will experience widowhood by the age of 57. And I'm thinking like, wow, I'm 41 right now, going to be 42 this year. And that's like not too far away, which is just crazy. So it's, good to have in the back of your mind, like these plan A's, because at some point we will be responsible for ourselves. We have that the number of consumers age 60 and older with student loan debt has quadrupled over the last decade, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The average woman spends 15% of her working years outside of the workforce caring for children and elderly parents compared to the average man's 1.6. So, we're the caretakers. So a lot of times that responsibility falls on us. And alongside that, the financial responsibility falls on us. And then we have 80% of Americans have more debt than assets. And this is what blows my mind. 50% of Americans do not have enough cash to cover a $500 unexpected expense. And so these are just all things to put into consideration when looking at another stream of income. And this definitely can be a great plan B. It can be something that can cover maybe a utility bill, or it can be something that covers your mortgage, or it can be something that pays off debt and gets you debt free. So it's whatever you want to make out of it. So our next guest speaker, she on here? She's not on here, but she wasn't sure she'd be able to make the call because she was in a town. She had to drive to a town where she doesn't get any phone or internet coverage. So what she did is she left us a video, a YouTube, that I'm going to play for you guys. Let me share my screen before I close out. What did I just do? I closed you guys out. Hold on a second. I'm going to share my screen. And I am going to play her video, which she recorded today, just in case she was not available, and I can see she's not. All right. Technology, people. It's good and it is challenging at times, but we're going to get this. Hold on, here we go. And this person is Stacy Turner. She's actually someone who's been doing the business for 15 years, and she's at the top of the marketing plan in the company. Can you guys hear?
No, we can't.
No.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to play the sound through my phone. So I'll pause it. Come on, phone. Here we go.
Hey, Michelle, thank you so much for inviting me to be on here tonight. We appreciate your product of Juice Valley, and just a journey that I've been the last 15 years and what this product of Juice Plus.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to start them both at the same time so they're in sync. Oh.
Just the journey that I've been on the last 15 years and what this product of Juice Plus and business has meant to us. And I'm just so excited to be here. What an incredible event to bring just empowerment to ladies, to moms. And that's where I was. 15 years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom, and it was something I had wanted to do my whole life. I knew in high school I did not want to go to college. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And my husband made great money, and I was able to stay home. I had a little boy. He was about 15 months old at the time. He's now 16. And I loved it. I really did. But I also found that we were not as healthy as we thought we were. In fact, my husband had had pneumonia 4 years in a row. And yet, if you had asked us if we were healthy, I would have said yes. I thought we ate healthy, and I really didn't realize the crisis we were in. I lived for the next nap. I couldn't wait until Colin went to sleep so that I could take a nap and sleep. And my husband, like I said, had had pneumonia 4 years in a row. So every cold that came around, he caught it. So, overall, when I say I got hours back in my day when I started taking Juice Plus, that I could do what I wanted to in the afternoons, my husband says he got his life back. And guys, he really did. He has never even had an upper respiratory infection in 15 years. Incredible. And I just, the more I learned, the more excited I got. I even used Juice Plus as my prenatal with our next 2 children. My 3rd child was born when my oldest was 3. So yeah, we were a little bit crazy. And I carried her the longest. She weighed the most, and I felt the best with her. And I gained the least amount with her, which is pretty crazy good. So very, very thankful that our kids have grown up with this solid nutrition in their bodies. My girls are 12 and 14, and my son is 16. And we've gone to the doctor, as a family of 5, maybe 5 times in the last 15 years. Like, it's really been a huge investment in our health. And I've learned, you can pay for illness and, subsidize that illness through food choices and fast food and junk food, or you can really invest in your health and in your finances too by investing in good food. And Juice Plus has been an incredible good food investment for us. So very thankful I said yes. I knew nothing about business, but I knew I liked people and I liked helping them, and I loved what I was learning. I was learning that what we ate could make a difference in our health genetically, even long term, as well as keeping us healthy in the short term. And I knew I was not the only mom that struggled with that, right? Like, I knew there are other people out there that feel the same way that I do, and that are worried about their husband's poor nutrition or picky eaters or 1,000 different things. And if I have a solution to share, why not share it with them? And I knew it wasn't for everybody, or at least it wasn't for them right then. But I also knew it was something that I could get better at sharing. And I loved what I was learning just about nutrition and health, but also the personal development and the growth that comes with a business opportunity like this. When you're starting to learn and share and develop people skills and communication skills, computer skills, speaking in public skills, all these different things that I really feel like I've grown up with Juice Plus. I was 24 when I started, and I just turned 39. And what a blessing to have had this in our lives. So not only reaping the benefits health-wise, but also definitely on the financial side for our family. You see, we didn't need the money when I started. I was really just offsetting our costs. I was telling my friends and family that were closest to me, but I didn't see myself as a business person, and I didn't see the need for the income. It was kind of fun money. At first, it was to pay for our family's Juice Plus, and then to be able to buy plane tickets home to visit family, and then even to buy furniture and new couch, things like that. But we weren't dependent on my income at that time. My husband was an officer in the Air Force. We made great money. He got out of the Air Force, and we moved from South Florida, where I'd heard about Juice Plus, to Alabama. And I knew nobody there. Nobody, and I was pregnant with our second baby. But I just started making friendships and relationships, and I listened for the needs that people had, and I just slowly started to share. And I would do my own presentations and share with people in group settings, and just tried to keep moving forward. So we had both of our babies there in Alabama. So 3 and under, you can imagine, I was just like treading water, trying to keep my head above water and just to stay qualified and to stay active with my customers and that sort of thing. And then we moved to New Mexico, the northern part of the state where we were from. So my husband had his own business. It was doing really well and had been doing well. We bought this beautiful house, and it's really one of the reasons why we moved there. Our family was there. We just thought that would be the house we would live forever in. We would grow old together, and our kids would grow up there and being around family. And it was just kind of a dream, idyllic situation. We loved that place, that property and the house. Well, I remember just 2 months into our new house, my husband walks through the door one morning, and his face was white, and he said, "It's over." And I was like, what's over? What do you mean? And he said his business was over, that he was working with AdSense and Google, and they had changed their payout structure and the type of business he had, and it took out his income in one email. Somebody way far above was able to have that much control. And I don't know if you've ever had a situation in your life like that where you feel like the rug has just been ripped out from underneath you, and we're looking at this mortgage payment and these 3 little kids, and he doesn't have the job skills that he would need in that area. And we were just kind of like, what do we do? And I remember in a sort of panic, he said, well, we might have to foreclose on this house. And something just like rose up in me, and I was like, no, this is my house. I will pay this mortgage. And I remember hitting my fist on the counter, and I was serious about that. It was a $2,000 a month mortgage. I was thinking about $750 a month at that time. And I got serious about that, and I got serious about my activity. And I remember thinking, well, the kids are a little bit older now. So my youngest was 15 months old. Our oldest would have been not even 5. And I was like, well, the kids are a little bit older now. I can get back to work and I can do more. And I just got seriously intentional about doing presentations and inviting people to come along, and really worked on building a team, and really worked on building my own skills, developing those skills so that I could carry a team and that I could lead them and I could guide them. And it worked. It totally worked. And so we started to see improvement and growth in my business, my paycheck. I did make that mortgage payment. We eventually did move back to Alabama, and we were there for 8 years. And during that time, I was able to put the kids into the private school of my choice. And this business just gives us opportunities to say yes to the things we want to say yes to, like paying cash for a vehicle, or no to things we don't want to have in our lives, like debt, things like that. It's living in passion and purpose every day. And I'm so thankful for the flexibility and the time freedom that I do have. If I need to take a day off, or, the kids need something, I can do that. I don't have to ask. If we want to go on vacation to Hawaii, I don't have a boss I have to ask. I asked myself if I wanted to go on a field trip. I didn't have to ask permission from another adult, as an adult, to do the things I wanted to do in my life. And just the people that are brought into your team, and people that you get to help with their health and nutrition. Like, I pinched myself thinking, this is what I get to do every day. Like, this is really my job, that I get a significant income, very significant income, more so than if I was working full-time as a dental assistant, by far. And, it just lets us, again, say yes to the things that we want to. I even have full medical benefits as the national marketing director with this company. Full medical benefits. For a family of 5, I pay less than $250 a month for full coverage. It's just an amazing, amazing thing. And that's something I had my eyes set on a long time ago, because I knew it was smart. It was smart to have a plan B. And did you realize that 80% of women will find themselves dependent upon their own income at some point in their life? 80% of us, we need to have a plan B. A smart plan B that's stable. This company's been around for 25 years. It's lasting. It's not going away. They've set themselves up for the future with the leadership within the company, the product. It's fruits and vegetables that doesn't go out of style. If anything, it's coming into style. Just more and more people are realizing the absolute need for that. So you're in the right place at the right time. Just gotta, get in there, do the activity, follow your upline, follow what they're telling you. Your sponsor is going to give you direction of where to go, and you just need to do it. Because I'm telling you, 15 years later, if I could tell myself 15 years ago, give myself a little hint, I would say, do it. This is so worth it. It's worth your time. The joy that I have in my life, and the people that have been brought into this, it's just second to none. So thank you so much for allowing me to share tonight. I really, really appreciate it.
All right, wasn't that awesome? I'm sorry that she couldn't be here in the flesh, but she recorded that today, and she was just like, just in case I'm not there. That's just powerful, because you never know when, you may need that plan B. And what I thought to be just another way to make a little income has now turned into so much bigger. Well, what is that? Oh, my phone. Sorry, guys. Oh, my goodness. So my phone is what was, where are you guys? My phone was what was giving the audio, so I forgot my phone was still going versus the video. But anyway, I would just love to thank all of you for being part of this Zoom tonight and for taking the time just to hear our stories and to hear what it's all about and just to hear some of our experiences. If whoever invited you to this Zoom cares about you and can see you being someone that can come along and join them in this mission to just help so many people get healthier and wealthier. And so with that being said, I'd like to just say good night to you all, and I hope to see you soon, and maybe I'll see you in Arizona.
You going to Vegas, Michelle? Oh my goodness.
Good
See
night.
you. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, Michelle.
You're so welcome. Have a good night.
Looking forward to next
We're
week.
going to see you in Vegas too, Michelle. We're not only going to see you in Arizona.
We do another trip to Vegas.